येशु पिता प्रभु अल्लाह अकबर शिरडी साई पति साई तुम येशु पिता प्रभु अल्लाह अकबर शिरडी साई पति साई तुम गुरु नानक भी तुम हो राष्ट्र महावीर तुम हो राष्ट्र महावीर तुम हो येशु पिता प्रभु तुम हो येशु पिता प्रभु तुम हो साई अल्लाह अकबर 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 तुम हो ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह मोहम्मद रसूल अल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह मोहम्मद रसूल अल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह मोहम्मद रसूल अल्लाह अल्लाह
Om Shri Sai Ram. Distinguished guests, elders, eminent personalities, media members, delegates, staff and students from different educational institutions, devotees watching the program live from India and the world over. A hearty good evening to all of you and a warm welcome to the valedictory session of the National Youth Meet 2016. We've had a wonderful past 3 days with 3 different themes being discussed, which is the need of the society. First, the harmony of religions. Second, ideals from Ramayana for modern times. And third, spirituality in education based on harmony of religions. We had an array of distinguished speakers sharing from their rich experience on what can be done to make this a reality. Today's focus has been on spirituality in education, and we heard from the experiences of our eminent educationists this morning and afternoon that spirituality in education based on harmony of religions is required for the revival of a harmonious society. A white paper on the same topic was officially released this morning, which calls for like-minded organizations to come together to make this dream come true.
The word education has been derived from different Latin words, and the most popular being educare, which means to bring out or to nourish. This afternoon, we had a panel discussion with our distinguished guests who discussed and spoke about the need to introduce spirituality in education based on the harmony of religion. The panel did discuss on how best to bring out the potential in each one of us. Education with culture can alone bring about the positive transformation. And educare brings out the latent, sacred qualities inherent inside the heart and puts them into practice. Worldly education, which is related to the head, is subject to change, but values like truth, forbearance, compassion, originating from the heart, remain changeless.
We will now commence the evening's proceedings with Vedic hymns chanted by students from the PU College for Girls in Chikbalapur campus and Alike campus. They will recite the Mantra Pushpam.
आयतनवान् भवति यो अग्नेरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अग्नेरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपमायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति वायुर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो वायोरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै वायोरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपमायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति असौ वै तपन्नपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो मुष्यतपत आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अमुष्यतपत आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपमायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यश्चन्द्रमस आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै चन्द्रमस आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपमायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति नक्षत्राणि वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो नक्षत्राणामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै नक्षत्राणामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपमायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति पर्जन्यो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः पर्जन्यस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै पर्जन्यस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपमायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति संवत्सरो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः संवत्सरस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै संवत्सरस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योऽप्सु नावं प्रतिष्ठितां वेद प्रत्येव तिष्ठति राजाधिराजाय प्रसह्य साधिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यम् कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Distinguished men and women of noble accomplishments are amidst us today, this evening, and we take this opportunity to welcome them. Swami Muktidananda Maharaj, Swamiji, is the Adhyaksh of the Sri Ramakrishna Ashrama, Yadavagiri, Mysore, and trustee of the Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission, Belur.
Professor H.S. Bhatia, former member of the DRDO, an accomplished technologist who has made many contributions in the development of radar systems for the Indian Navy. He also holds the post of State Secretary in the Gurudwara Sri Guru Singh Sabha, Bangalore. Ms. Gulsha Begum, President of the Global Peace Mission and Chairperson of the Divine Abode Foundation. She works actively towards promoting interfaith harmony and recently successfully chaired a Global Peace Conference in January 2016.
Mr. Isaac Tigrit, founder of the famed Hard Rock Cafe and House of Blues. He's an ardent devotee of Bhagwan Baba and dedicated himself to the setting up of the Sri Satya Sai Super Speciality Hospital in Puttaparthi.
Professor Dr. J. Shashidhara Prasad, an ardent devotee of Bhagwan Baba and former Vice Chancellor of the Mysore University and former Vice Chancellor of the Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning.
Father Charles Ogara, founder and current president of the Spiritan Self-Awareness Initiative, an excellent orator and truly a youth icon.
Shri B. Narayan Rao, Secretary of the Sri Satya Sai Lokaseva Trust, that is furthering the cause of value-based education in rural India.
Shri B. N. Narasimhamurthy, Chief Mentor of the Sri Satya Sai Lokaseva institutions, an inspiration to his students and committed to the mission of Bhagwan Baba.
Shri Madhusudan Rao Naidu, a distinguished alumnus of the Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, who's dedicated his entire life by serving Bhagwan as his communicator. We would also like to very warmly welcome Shri Indulal Shah, who's present amidst us today. To change the way we treat education, we need to shift its focus. And according to a UNESCO study, the physical, intellectual, emotional, and ethical integration of the individual into a complete man or woman is the fundamental aim of education. Any amount of knowledge transfer will not be successful if it does not help with translating values into a daily reality. Education is that which liberates. We will now have two delegates summarizing the day's proceedings. We would like to first call upon Kumari Vinita S., who hails from Bangalore and has joined the new Prashantaniketanam campus for girls at Alike. Vinita has been a Balvika student from childhood, loves music, and has completed her junior level Carnatic vocal exams. She's also good at sports and was on the school basketball team. Brothers and sisters, Kumari Vinita S.
Om Shri Sai Ram, offering my most humble and reverential salutations at the lotus feet of my divine master, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. The third and final day proceedings of the National Youth Meet 2016 began with Bhagavan arriving at 9:45 a.m., escorted by the Veda chanting group composed of girls from 1st PUC Alike campus. Bhagavan graced the dais along with other guests of honor and dignitaries. This was followed by a short introduction to today's theme, Spirituality in Education Through Harmony of Religions, provided by the computers for the day, Sister Deepika, and Brother Siddhant. In the white paper, they laid emphasis on the importance of merging secular and spiritual education. This would result in the shaping of country's destiny by students with the culture and refined character. They also talked about the importance of developing love for God in the hearts of students and promoting morality in the society. This kind of education would focus not only today's career building but also character molding. Next, the day's proceedings were officially commenced with Veda chanting, welcoming the dignitaries, and lighting the lamp. Following this, Sri B.N. Narasimurthy, Chief Mentor of Sri Satya Sai Lokaseva Institutions, delivered the introductory address. Sir talked about how spiritual education has always been the backbone of India, and in her continuous seeking of God lies the path to her immortality. He emphasized on the three pillars for a good life as laid down by Bhagavan: Daiva Preeti, Papa Bhiti, and Sanganiti. After this, a short film was screened that beautifully captured the milestones of the epic journey that began with one college for women at Anandpur to the large number of schools and colleges that have sprung up today. The short film wonderfully captured the essence of Satya Sai integral system of education and its transformative power on the students who receive it. Next, the guest of honor for today, Sri Sri Swami Nirmalanandanath, delivered a speech. Swamiji talked about realizing the importance of human birth and how this must be utilized to attain salvation. On Bhagavan's request, Swamiji also talked about the relationship between his revered Guru, Sri Bal Gangadharanath Swami, Bhagavan Baba, and himself. We were then blessed with Bhagavan's divine discourse. Bhagavan said that the quest to know and attain the eternal truth about Atma is the ultimate goal of education. Secular education is important because we live in the material world, but this forms only one half of the seed from which the plant grows. The other half that completes the circle is spiritual education. Bhagavan exhorted us to get rid of three evils of Mala, Vikshepa, and Avarana. He said that the mind is the key to liberation and it must only be turned in the right direction. Bhagavan inspired us all to come together and unitedly endeavor to transform this society and uplift our nation. Bhagavan's divine discourse filled everyone's heart with joy and hope. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.
Summarizing the forenoon and the afternoon session, we have Brother Akshay Chandrasekhar. Brother Akshay hails from Belgaum. He joined the Sri Satya Sai Lokaseva Vidya Kendra in Alike in the year 2010 in his 6th grade and is currently pursuing second year PU in Sri Satya Sai Lokaseva PU College in Alike. During the 90th birthday celebrations of Bhagwan, he received the Best Student Award for his class for his discipline and sincerity. He's a topper of his class. He played volleyball at the district level and is also part of the Alike Bhajan group in which he plays the tabla. Brother Akshay Chandrasekhar.
Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer myself at the divine lotus feet of Bhagavan Baba. Respected dignitaries on the dais, dear brothers and sisters. As it is rightly said by Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon through which we can change this world. And today, we were fortunate to have listened to many good talks on the type of education which will really transform the world. After the inaugural section, we had three eminent speakers who enriched our minds. Our first keynote speaker was Sri H.N. Dastur, Executive Secretary and Director General, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. He spoke of how Sri Munshi Ji established the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, where at present more than 2 lakh students are studying. This institution, built up upon the moral principles like Sarva Dharma Samabhava and Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, has an exemplary system called Abhyudaya, which educates even slum children. Dasturji beautifully explained to us the difference between the love of man and love of God. If a person does 99 favors and refuses one, he may turn out to be an enemy. But if a person does 99 things that God likes, that God doesn't like, and just one act he likes, God embraces him. Towards the end of his talk, Dasturji also mentioned the qualities that students must possess. They are self-observation, simplicity, quality of surrender, detachment, never feeling insulted, power of the prayers, and practicing independent thinking. This beautiful talk was followed by another speech by Swami Muktidananda, head of Sri Ramakrishna Mutt, Mysore. His talk was mainly centered on spiritual education. Swamiji said that it is not enough if we just have Rajabala, Dhanabala and Bhujabala, but Dayobala is much more important in life. He emphasized on the 4 basic principles of spirituality and religion, namely meditation, service, love and knowledge. Swamiji said that spirituality is an incessant search for the eternal truth. He also remembered the teachings of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, that is, real religion is the religion of love. He stressed that right knowledge alone can conquer ignorance, and divine knowledge alone can conquer the negative wavelengths. Remembering the speech of Swami Vivekananda at Chicago, Swamiji said that it's not enough if we just tolerate religions, but we must also accept them. This wonderful talk on the spiritual education embraced all the people with a new charm and a hope for a better future. After an offering of a token of gratitude to Swamiji, still there was a hunger for spiritual knowledge on the faces of the delegates when Sri Gururaj Kharajgi, chairman of Academy of Creative Teaching, Bangalore, took over the dais. Dr. Gururaj started off with a beautiful story of a limping horse where he said that all the essentials of a spirituality are learned from teachers and parents. He urged that only service can make anyone immortal by remembering the lesson he learned from his student, that anyone who lives for himself is forgotten by this world very soon, but anyone who lives for others is remembered by this world forever. Dr. Gururaj also wonderfully depicted the oneness of all the religions by narrating a story said by Jalaluddin Rumi. The highlight of his talk, he narrated the story of a 6-year-old innocent girl suffering from a heart disease that filled the eyes of the audience with tears. He said how the power of the prayer, faith and innocence of the child saved her from the death. The talk by Dr. Gururaj Kharajgi won the hearts of the audience with an offering of a token of love and gratitude to him. The morning session ended with the Sarva Dharma prayer. The afternoon session of panel discussion saw a warm welcome by Sister Bhuvana and Brother Vijay Sai. There were a number of questions put forth in front of the panelists. Today's theme being spirituality in education through harmony of religions, the panelists put forward as to why spiritual education is important. In our lives, it is important to uphold the moral values, and only when spirituality is present in education can then education be really for life and not just for mere living. The panelists also said that when we really rouse the curiosity in students about their selves, they can grow an interest in spirituality. True education is attained by constant communion with the nature and not just by books. They also embraced that spirituality is nothing but the self-discovery and that different religions do it in different ways. Towards the end of the panelists made a mark on why spiritual education is truly important in the modern times. This brought a new hope for a better future. Thanking one and all for patient listening, I would like to retreat. Thank you, Sai Ram.
With the divine blessings of Bhagwan Baba, we are thrilled to share with you that the Muddenahalli and the Alike Pre-University College students have secured 98% and 99% in the second year PUC examination held in the month of March 2016. Our beloved Lord has graciously invited all the students who have secured 90% and above in the exam to be felicitated and blessed. We would now like to share with you the results of the Muddenahalli campus. 49 out of the 49 students in the science stream have secured first class. 42 out of the 45 students in the commerce stream have passed with the first division as well. And 21 students have secured 90% and above, of which 12 are from the science section and 9 from the commerce stream. Our beloved brothers from Alike have performed equally well, securing outstanding marks in the subjects in the exams. And a gist of the results, 94 out of the 95 students have secured first class, and these were the students from the science stream. 82 out of the 85 students studying commerce have also stood in the first division. And 82 students have secured more than 90% marks in the examination. And in total, between the Alike and the Muddenahalli campus, 103 students have secured more than 90%, making their Lord very, very proud. Out of them, we have 22 students who will be honored today with Excellence Awards. We will be calling out the names of all the students and maybe request them to come up one by one to receive their certificates of excellence, please. Mohish Gowda, Omkar Sai, Omkar Sai, Vinayak Ullagaddi, Abhishek Chidambar Joshi, Nityanand Abhishek GP, Rakesh BV, Paras Pradeep Lagare, Abhishek Gandham, Vishal Matpati. Brothers and sisters, can we all have a loud round of applause, please? These students have worked very, very hard. Shrikant, Prashant Nagappa, Tushar Suresh Kolkar, Manju Aditya, Naveen Ramdurg, Sri Ranga HV, Karan Bharadwaj, Abhishek Raj Gurung, Sachin Bhimrao Kulkarni, Sai Bharadwaj K, Sai Chaitanya Shetty. Rakesh Joshi. We're also very happy to announce that 5 of these students will be joining by Bhagwan's command the Sri Satya Sai Center for Human Excellence in Muddenahalli. Mohish Gowda, who secured 94.33%, Omkar Sai, who secured 90.17%, Sri Ranga HV, who secured 96.83%, Abhishek Gurung, who secured 95%, and Karan, who has secured 96.5% again. Hearty congratulations, dear students, from each and every one here.
Dear sisters and brothers, let me also take this opportunity to congratulate all of you delegates, including Bhagwan students and young men and women hailing from different parts of India, to have come to this National Youth Meet 2016 and taken this step towards imbibing spirituality in your daily lives. I pray to Bhagwan to bless the certificate of participation for all the delegates gathered here. Swami just remarked that all of us are getting our certificates, but what about Bhagwan's certificate? And very poignantly, Bhagwan says that our conduct is his certificate.
Our speaker for this evening, blessed by Bhagwan, is Ms. Gulsha Begum. Ms. Gulsha hails from a family of Sufi saints and belongs to the lineage of Hazrat Muhammad Gulsha Chishti Qadriya, a Sufi saint from the northern frontiers of Afghanistan who came to India. She's a versatile personality, being a visionary author, creative artist, entrepreneur, and visual merchandiser. Ms. Begum has traveled extensively all over the world and settled down to a life of serenity, peace, and service towards the cause of women empowerment, spiritual life, and therapy. She established the Divine Abode Foundation in 2010, With the establishment, she defines spiritual teaching as human understanding, inner healing, detachment, spiritual insight, illumination, and harmony in thought and inspiration. The formation is actively participating in therapy and conducting varied programs to impart spiritual truth. Brothers and sisters, on behalf of all of us, we would like to now invite Ms. Gulsha Begum to address this August gathering. Saira.
First of all, my sincere respects to His Holiness Sri Sai Baba. My humble acknowledgement to the organizers for making it possible for me to be part of this prestigious National Youth Meet today. My sincere thanks to Sri B.N. Narsimhamurthy ji, Ms. Bhuvana ji, Sri Madhusudan Naidu ji, and Ms. Deepika ji for inviting me. Respected delegates on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, the students, seekers of the path, volunteers, I'm truly honored to be here today. In the past days, diverse group of spiritual teachers have spoken on this platform, and all of them have a unique take on the meaning of spirituality. Hopefully, the words of wisdom can light a spark that ignites your own spiritual journey. So there is very little left for me to speak, as every topic on spirituality is covered by most speakers. Therefore, I shall not quote anything of any other person's journey, or from scriptures, or from religion. Rather, I would like to share the teachings imparted to me by the energy who I refer as Mother, the Divine Feminine. The presence of this energy is the inspiration and the teacher behind my journey made me go through an experience, a feeling that is something greater than the concrete world we inhabit. Whether this feeling is inspired by a mystery of the inner energy experienced in connecting with myself, these moments were both humbling and grounding. I realized it's these feelings, moments, and experiences which form the foundation of our notion of spirituality. There is no right or wrong way to approach spirituality. What's important is to recognize that the journey is the prize. Whether you are someone who's devoted your life to furthering your spiritual development, or you're just starting to discover your spirituality, there are important lessons that can be learned from the path you follow. For some, spirituality is about a devotion to a religious faith. Others seek out a more personal connection with the spiritual side by engaging in activities such as yoga, meditation, spending time in nature, or creative expression. There's a lot of amazing variety of spiritual expression within the Maya world, and it's understandable that you would want to taste it all. However, unless you find the one true path, it's very difficult to go deeper. I've been practicing the path directed to me by the divine goddess Durga for well over a decade now. And sticking with the teachings of her practices has offered me the scaffolding to be able to plunge into an experience, learn to witness how I'm rising and acting in the world, and make efforts to shift that which doesn't serve me any longer. Given that my surrender and devotion have actually opened up the stairs to see the real movie. One of the really stark differences is between everything or nothing. We have forgotten that we are spiritual beings traveling this lifetime imprisoned in a physical vehicle. When you come to a full understanding that you are a spiritual being imprisoned in an illusionary world, and all the things that go along with that understanding, such as rituals, religion, scriptures, meditation, prayer, compassion, love, appreciation of being alive, daily problems and challenges become easier and lighter. However, in the original form, there is none of the ritual, offerings, prayer, compass directions to face, etc., etc. The goal of the path is to seek the freedom of the spirit, imprisoned within the illusion, within the personality. All religion sees the ultimate reality as being all things united as one glorious divinity. But the ultimate reality is to break the prison matrix where each of our spirit is imprisoned by detaching from everything until nothingness remains. And that state of nothingness is beyond moksha, fana, or the divine union, as the very concept of union is rejected in the state of nothingness. Another big difference related to this is that life is suffering. When we accept that, we want to escape from the world, and we dedicate ourselves to meditation and breaking the cycle to achieve the nothingness. Suffering arises when we feel attachment to things and to people. But suffering is part of the physical body and the physical plane. There is a bigger reality into which we can step, and in that true reality, the world is perfect and everything is bliss. While most turn to the religion and scriptures to understand life, I do not accept any of those. To me, there is no worship or follow the gods. And even if others believe God, I would not worship God because I feel that they are stuck in the illusion of the world and cannot guide anyone. It could be said that on the path of Ma there is no gods while the illusion has all the gods. However, the concept of God, rituals, religion is a reminder that we are all still within the Maya. The Maya creating the great matrix of society, which further breaks down to love, marriage, relationships, jobs, money, pleasures, etc. And the other side of the same coin creates violence, abuse, etc. to balance the energy within the Maya. The good and the bad is the game within the illusion world created by the time and the very same energy, who we refer as the world soul. The union of the spirit with such at the highest level brings back the same into the Maya as a great spiritual teacher, a God himself, or a messenger to spread the teachings of the soul. But when the union is refused at the highest level, it further opens the gateway to a path of the spirit, filled with flow of life, awakening you to a much higher reality of higher power of the goddess, which is beyond the trap of Maya. At that highest point, when you break the barriers of all unions, you realize the concept of God does not exist anymore. And everything created by the creation is the influence of time and energy to create the perfect Maya. Man's mind must be calmed before man can understand any of these higher truths. Religion cannot accomplish this, and a simpler system will help one see the truth and falsehood within an ever-changing world. This philosophy will allow man to independently address and understand why man is so caught up in the world and its enticements. What man does with this knowledge and how he or she applies it is up to each human. The ultimate goal is something more abstract, ending suffering by escaping the process of recycling and entering into a state of nothingness. Nothingness itself is something of an abstract concept, which implies that one is far away from the fires of desires and defilement. If you listen, the energy will teach you what you need to know. You will be guided, and you will have a rich series of resources flooding your life at just the right time, as if by magic. Perhaps you might need to be open to this eventuality. All of this is layered. Once you think you have gotten to the core of something, onward you go to another energy wheel, and it has its own stuff that has to be cleared at a given vibratory rate. It has to clear out all your internal garbage for your true self to actualize. The path is not easy or fun. You're forced to deal with your garbage. And once that light is on, there is no running from it. Be aware, once awakened means a lifetime of forced internal work, sound mind, body, and spirit or not. The pathway for such a experience is moral and ethical values in our daily lives, practicing the art of forgiveness and let go, control on all our 5 senses, and ultimately acceptance and surrender. Simple, so simple it can be a struggle. If it is meant to come to you, it will. Man is responsible for his own action. Man should face the facts of life and shoulder the responsibilities of life by fulfilling his duties and obligations to himself as well as others. His pain and pleasure are created by himself, and he has the ability to get rid of his sufferings and maintain peace and happiness by understanding his weakness and using his own efforts to overcome them. Man's untrained mind is responsible for all the troubles, calamities, disturbances, unfavorable circumstances, and even the changes of elements and matter. Conversely, man's mind can change unfortunate situations in the world and also can make it a peaceful, prosperous, and happy place for all to live. This can be done only through the purification of mental energy. An inward culture is necessary for progress. By merely resorting to external worship, ceremonies, and prayers, one can never make progress in righteousness and inner development. We must give our minds the freedom to think without being biased and to think independently. All over the world, people crowd in temple, churches, mosques, and other places of worship to pray. But when they come out, they have the same anger, craving, jealousy, grudges, and enmity that they had before. People claim to be religious when they pray and worship and perform religious ceremonies, but their minds remain selfish and devious. If they are truly religious, they will not discriminate against others or hurt and ridicule others in their religious practice. We must open our minds to understand things perfectly without developing fanatical religious belief and discrimination. As I said in the morning, all truths are hidden in the heart of man, and unless the heart is unlocked, man feels God is alive and loves all of mankind. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a short speech of mine, which is what I learned through the divine goddess, Mother Durga. This is what she taught me, as I think Babaji knows about it. But before I can wind up, I would like to say that I am really, really deeply honored that I am here today. And I really thank Mr. Narasimha Murthy ji and Bhuvana ji for inviting me here today, because I have seen so much over here, the kind of education Babaji has imparted to the children, and the kind of devotion and the kind of atmosphere, and I have really no words to express. Thank you very much. Babaji wants me to speak on my experience a little more openly, without riddles. I am a Muslim, born in a Muslim family, a very conservative family. And I was a normal person. I was never a spiritual person or never even wanted to be on a spiritual path. I was just like anybody else. But one fine day, there was a transformation. I saw the goddess Durga. She was in front of me. It began with a kind of energy which is a subtle energy. The energy started taking a form. It took a form of a Hindu goddess, and I was confused which goddess is this, because I am not very familiar with the goddesses, but I knew it was a Hindu goddess. And then the energy again transformed, and I saw Durga, and of course, everybody knows goddess Durga. But later I found out the first goddess that I saw was Saraswati. And then I saw Durga. But I was very confused because being a Muslim, I never went to any temple, I never called for any goddess. And as Bhuvanaji said, I belong to a family which is of Sufi saints. And I am always taught that we are Muslims and we pray to Allah. But of course, I was a modern Muslim, not a conservative Muslim. So I just went to bed. But the next day when I woke up, my life completely transformed. I could see the whole world in my eyes. I could listen to everything. I could see everybody's life. That was the power, and my entire body was, I cannot explain my situation for years. It was not a one-day experience. It was years of experience. And the next day, I saw Ma in front of me, and I told Ma, just go away from me. I don't want you. Who are you? She said, you are my daughter, and I am your mother. I was, so I just couldn't believe it. And then she told me that your life, your contract on earth is come to an end. So you have two choices. Either you walk along with me or you go back home. So going back home was something which I knew I'm dead. So I decided I will go along with her, but reluctantly. So I was constantly fighting with Ma and telling her that go away from my life. Who are you? I don't believe in Durga. I don't believe in all these gods. But she was always very calm, though I used to shout, scream, everything. And of course, it was very difficult for me with my family being Muslims. They felt I was possessed. They felt koi Durga aayi thi and it's possessed her and we need to remove it. But of course it didn't happen because mother was much stronger than any of all these energies. So Ma taught me meditation. Today if I'm standing here in front of you, or even if I'm speaking to you, or even if I have the powers to see things or everything, from meditation to every single thing that I have today, from mathematics to science to art to spirituality to the Vedas to the Torahs to the Quran to the Bible, Ma has taught me. So she took me through a journey where I felt as if every part of my body was, people standing next to me could hear my body like a machine. It was so much energy and I couldn't handle it. It was at a very fast pace, such a fast pace that I didn't know what was happening to me and nobody could help me. And I was trying to save my material world where on one side, Ma was trying to drag me into a spiritual world, and I did not want that spiritual world. And ultimately, I went everywhere for help to say I want to escape from this. But there was no escape. It was with lot of tears, lot of reluctancy, but many years I fought with Ma. But Ma never fought with me. She always was very quiet. Whenever I told Ma that I will go, I will do things and everything, she always was very quiet. And she taught me what was the meaning of true love. I learned what is unconditional love from Ma. She taught me the meaning of unconditional love, the love which I never found in the world. In the world, if I said something, they would leave me and go. Or if I screamed, people would shout at me. But with Ma, she never shouted at me, though I would throw things at Ma. saying, just go away, I don't want to be in it. But Ma was always very patient. And then I realized this Ma cannot be evil. Because if it is something evil, it would be teaching me the bad things. But this Ma had so much of patience. And when the entire world left me, saying that it is, you are possessed and you are become a Hindu and you need to read the Kalma. And of course, I was doing a lot of wrong things when Ma was there because I wanted to, my struggle was between the material and the spiritual. So at that time, I have always seen the world always left me for reasons, but Ma never left me. She always was with me. Though her lessons were very harsh, she taught me many things. And though I learned many things, but eventually I surrendered to her because I saw the world was not with me. And I was left alone. And I tried to hold on to the material things, but I could not hold on. Because it was all slipping out of my hands, and I realized I was left all alone. And that day, I told Ma, you're right. This world is not meant for me. So I surrendered to you 100%. And then my journey, she taught me many, many good things after that. She further took me to another journey. And then my journey began, and this is how I reached Ajmer. But then she told me at one point, I am Durga, I am Allah, I am everything. So at some point I accepted even that. So whatever she said, I went on accepting. But at some point after I reached, as I said, when you reach at the level where it is at the heart, when you unlock your heart, then it's a different world altogether. Then there is no God. Then it is only Ma. It is the spirit. So I have learned whatever I have spoken to you some time back is my teaching, what I learned after the journey from the heart. And as Babaji said, say what was before that. Don't put them in confusion. So what I spoke to you was after that, the form where there is nothing. And we are all how we live in a Maya. So our aim, from what I have learned from Ma, and what I learned another thing was I was a Muslim. And all my life I felt that in our religion they teach us that it's only Allah and there's only one God and that's it. But from Ma I learned that all religions were just man-made. It is not that there is, and if it was only Allah, then why did Durga come to me? So that's a very big question for me or for anybody else, that I being a Muslim, why did Durga come to me? So there is something, right? There has to be something. There is a deeper secret. There is a deeper knowledge, which is away from all of us. So this is, today I've dedicated my entire life to Ma, and I follow whatever Ma says. Today if I'm here, I have asked her permission that can I come here? Or am I allowed to sit here? Am I allowed to do that? And she has given me her permission, and that is why I'm here today. And I would really like to thank Babaji for giving me this opportunity to share my experience with all you beautiful people here, who are all part of Ma, a part of her spark. And I really am thankful to Madhusudan ji for giving me this honor and respect to be here. And I honestly feel that Ma herself is here. Thank you.
On behalf of all of us seated here, we pray to Bhagwan to grant his divine message this evening. Sai Ram. Swami has commanded Father Charles Ogada to address all of us this evening.
I worship the mother in all of you. And I worship the mother of all mothers, the mother that bears all of us. We are in Him. Everything is Him. And Swami has commanded me to share with you my own personal experiences. When I was 11 years old, my father called me to his room and asked me a question. He said to me, "Do you want to be a priest?" I said, "No." And then I went, because I sat for an entrance exam for a seminary school. If you go to a seminary school, you're going to be a priest. And to a secular school, if you go to a secular school, the chances for you to be a priest is very, very rare. So when I said to my father, I don't want to be a priest, I went to a secular school. And I wanted to be a medical doctor. And I was reading to be a medical doctor. When I was little, like 5 years old, 6 years old, a strong presence used to envelop me. I know someone is there, although I cannot see him physically. And sometimes this presence is so strong that I lose body consciousness. And my parents used to think that I was possessed. And I was taken to many, many African juju to cast out the devil in me. Unfortunately, they couldn't. Sarah, I feel really humbled listening to Ma, because her experiences just brings emotions within me about my own experiences. I have to go through a lot. At a particular time, when I entered this high school, this same presence came. It's a very lovely presence. The only difficulty is that it's too much for me. And I could remember I was in a boarding school, and this presence came again. And I knew I was going to faint. And I knew if I faint, my friends would think either I'm possessed or I'm suffering from epilepsy or something. And I really told this presence, "Please, can you leave me alone?" And he did. I finished my studies, and I was about to go and read medicine in the university. My childhood habit of withdrawing to a lonely place to experience this unknown presence, you are going to know who that is later on. Because when I say it was not me who came to Swami, it was Swami who came to me, that was the presence. So I had finished all my studies, written the exams, got the best results. And I went to the forest one fine day. And suddenly, in a very dramatic way, this presence reappeared. And I disappeared. Have you ever disappeared before? The I disappeared. When the I disappears, you become one with everything. Everything. The sky, the ant, this everything. And he spoke to me. I'm saying he spoke to me. It's such difficult. It is so difficult to say it in words because there's no he and there's no me. But to express it in a way we can understand it, I will say that the sound, the presence spoke to me for the very first time. What would you want to do with this life? I didn't say no. I said, you are the life. What else to do but to love and to serve you? And from that moment, every other thing became insipid. The word was not there. Just to love God in everything that is became my passion. And then, of course, I became mad. You can't love God without becoming mad. You know, the mind has to go. And when the mind goes, it means you are mad, isn't it? And I was doing things that were not normal. Taking my clothes, going to the streets, clothing everyone that I saw, mad people that I saw that are naked, so many things. And then I told my father, because I was thinking, how would I now dedicate all my life to this energy, to this presence? And then I thought, oh, maybe if I become a priest, then I will not have any difficulty in doing this. Then I went and told my father, I want to be a priest. And he said, no. You go first, finish your medical career, and then if this voice still persists, then you know it is genuine. But I knew I could not survive a moment without dedicating my entire being to the service of this energy. That was what made me go into the seminary. But unfortunately, along the way, the seminary training was talking about God. They were not talking God. They were showing me images, pictures of God. There was no experiential awareness of God. So at a particular time, I entered into what we normally call in the spiritual palace, the dark night of the soul. The word was not there. The presence was not there. I was not there. And that was when Satya Sai Baba came. Was it when he came? Not exactly. But that was when he came in his form. I was still in the seminary, and he came in the dream. Before the dream, there was a priest who mentioned his name while he was teaching us comparative religion as an example of a living avatar. And once I heard that name, Sai Baba, there was a bomb in my heart, as if to say my being exploded. I was not the same. Within that time, Swami came in my dream. And he waved his hand. I never knew what his mannerisms, but he waved his hand like a big circle of energy. And then that energy drew me and he hugged me. And I disappeared. How many times have I disappeared? I disappeared. And immediately I realized he was the father who said to me when I was 17 years old, "What would you want to do with this life?" He was the presence that used to come to me when I was little, a little boy, and stays with me as long as I wanted. From that moment on, Swami, thank you. We are so fortunate. We are so lucky. We are so divine. This moment that our mother, our God, our friend, our everything, he is here with us. Do not allow anything to disturb you. It is his will, and that will is omnipotent, that he will save you, that he will lead you to your destination. Don't worry. He will do it. Isn't this Swami? He will do it. The only thing he asks us is, be happy. Be happy. And he defines happiness as union with God. And union with God means absence of worries. Let him. He will do it. I worship him in all of you. Jai Sai Ram.
I have been requested by revered Babaji through Madhusudan ji that how is the transition took place, and I was driven to Sri Ramakrishna's lotus feet. He requested me to speak to you, so I will share my few experiences of how I was drawn to Sri Ramakrishna. Usually the youngsters look forward to have some great goal in life. So there was a series of goal orientation right from early boyhood days to solve the problems of life like poverty, or to find out the remedy for cancer, or to solve the housing problems of the poverty-ridden people who are living in huts and under the tree. That was a passion during the early boyhood days. Later on, when I entered the portals of Sri Ramakrishna Ashrama, Mangalore. Swami Jagadatmanandaji was there, and I heard from him, knock, knock, knock the door shall be opened. And he sang a song addressing the Divine Mother, Sarvapriye Taye Sakala Bhavabhaya Harini, Ninna Namavanu Kelirunu Taye, Adarandadi Nannana Munnadaisu, Ashtadala Yogini Taye Shakti Bhute, Matte Bhavasagaradi, Beeladandadi Nannan Rakshisu Taye, Shakti Bhute. And it, quoting the Jesus Christ, he told, Jesus said, knock, knock, knock the door shall be open. And the goal of life is God realization. And that was a turning point. And I thought, I thought that people are just born suddenly into a spiritual mysticism, and we can't hope to realize God. So we have a faith in God, worship God, ask for boons, but not that we can experience God. But this, then I went through the life and teachings of Sri Ramakrishna, and I was totally transformed to have my orientation of goal as God realization. Before solving the problems of life and the world, the God who is the Lord of the entire universe, world is not too small a place, and problems are too small that we can solve it so easily. Unless we are empowered by God and experience God, how can we deal with the problems of life? So I thought that first it is important to experience God. And Sri Ramakrishna's life, I read months after months and days after days, and his book called Brahmananda Vachanasudhi I read for a number of years, abandoning all my studies, everything, going on a hillock and sitting there for years in the evening. I continued pouring into the books of Ramakrishna, every day imagining and weeping and aspiring for his presence. Meanwhile, I was meditating on a God of my faith, of the family. During my younger days, when I was in 4th standard, when I came to Puttaparthi once, I could not see Baba clearly there. Then we followed him to Tumkur and then to Nalur. Some kind of a spiritual aura of his, and I used to pray at that time. It was 3rd standard and 4th standard. I do still remember at that time in Nalur, when he was sitting, and that picture is before my mind's eye very clearly, and one song was being sung, Narada Gana Vilola, Sadhu Sajjanara Paripala, Gopiya Lola, Gokula Bala, Neela Navya Vanamala. This was being sung. That was ringing into my ears. And then we came away after a long gap, and all that happened. Then afterwards, I was after a search of all mystics, all spiritual masters I used to visit when I was in Bombay. And I used to go to the Dharmakshetra also, heard Baba several times. But every time I go, I see Ramakrishna's picture there. And in Manipal, when he first came, I heard what I said in the morning today. I was sitting my other principal, Srinivas Kamath, and I was craving to meditate on him as Narayana. And then Baba himself in that speech, this is the land where Sri Ramakrishna is born and Lord Narayana himself is born. And that captured my mind, and then I went back. And after that, what happened, my Nama was one and the Rupa was the another. I wanted that Sri Ramakrishna, somebody should guide me. But I had a very unique experience of when I was in second BSc, which lasted for about 48 hours continuously, and which is too personal to be revealed. I don't know. So what happened was, like, a real experience that Sri Ramakrishna is Lord himself, Narayana himself, and that certain test I made whether this experience is true or not, and it miraculously got answered, that I got an opportunity to go to a particular place, to Mangalore Ashrama, and there till the next 48 hours it was lingering with me, that Ramakrishna's glorious form as Lord Narayana and the hands raised up alternating was flashing inside the mind's eye, in the heart. So that was the story of the transformation. Ever since that, it took a long journey for me to finally join the Ramakrishna order. Wherever I went, Ramanashrama I went, I saw Sri Ramakrishna. Whichever saint I go, I see Ramakrishna. Wherever I go, I see Ramakrishna's name or some kind of anecdote. Divine Life Society I go, he was telling about Sri Ramakrishna and direct disciples. So I was overpowered and completely encircled by Sri Ramakrishna's love, and I surrendered myself. At that time, a Swami called Swami Gurudasanji, whom our Narsim Murtiji also knows, and he has been continuously guiding me even from when he went to Himalayas. And Dr. Rajaram, who is here, he also happened to know him. And then he told, when I was in Nagpur, it is time for you to renounce the world. So that guidance of Swami Gurudasanji was continuously sustaining me. And then finally, I decided to join, relinquish the office, and then I went to Himalayas and spent 1 or 2 months, and finally I went and joined in Mysore as a monk and continuing my sadhana with my own struggle. And here is an just opportunity today to come all the way back to see this place, beautiful place, Muddenahalli. Once I visited when Srinivas Murtiji was here. He used to come to our school also for recruiting teachers. So this journey continued, and I've been struggling, and Sri Ramakrishna blessed me in spite of my all limitations and struggle. He is overpowering ahetuki kripa. Shnantam Kratyam karoti kalusham kuhakantakari shnantam shivam suvimalam tavanamanatha. That we can really experience. We can, in spite of, today somebody told that God, if He is really overpowers us, He ignores. It is more important, we may try to love God, but God's love for us is something which we do not understand. God's love for us is much more infinite than ever we can love God. Actually, the last prayer which I did when that experience was there is to one prayer line from Mataji Krishnabai and Ramdas composed a prayer, O Lord of the universe, O Creator, Protector and Destroyer of the world. In that one line comes, give me power to love thee with all my hearts. Give me power to love thee with all my hearts. And I could not go beyond this line. I was continuously repeating this prayer only. Give me power to never to forget Him even for a moment. That was the type of, ability to love God is not our effort. It is God's grace which envelops us. It compels us to love Him. It is by His grace only we can love God, and it is by His grace only we can go onward and forward in our spiritual journey. May the Divine Master bestow that love on all of us, and I am grateful to the Babaji and the Narsimurthy ji and Dr. Rajaram and all the people here for the organizers to calling me all the way here. I am in a kind of a seclusion, having a lot of responsibilities in Mysore, and usually I don't come out unless there are some additional responsibilities we have in Belur Mutt. But this is a great occasion. Somehow I was made to come here by the grace, and I'm grateful to the Baba and all of you here for this wonderful experience. Thank you.
Om Shri Sai Ram. As we pray to Bhagwan to grant his benedictory message for all of us on this valedictory function of National Youth Meet, I perceive him seated here amidst us in an ochre robe, and I repeat as he speaks. చావు పుట్టుక లేనట్టి శాశ్వతుండు, ఆది మధ్యాంతరహితుడు, అనాదివాడు, తాను చావు పుట్టక చంపబడక అందరిలో ఆత్మరూపుడై తానడే అలరి ఉండు. ఆత్మరూపుడై తానడే అలరి ఉండు.
God has neither birth nor death. He has no beginning nor end, nor even the middle called life between birth and death. Being the Atma, he resides in the heart of everyone. He has neither birth nor death.
ప్రేమ స్వరూపులారా,
Embodiments of divine love.
రెండు రోజుల నుంచి ఈ క్షణం వరకు ఎన్నో మంచి మాటలు మనము శ్రవణించి కొందరి వరకు మననం చేసి నిధ్యాసంలో కూడా పెట్టాలని సిద్ధపడ్డాము.
In the last 3 days, we have listened to many good things. Not only listened to some extent we have contemplated on those things which we listened, and also now many of us have determined to put that into our practice in our lives.
ఈ క్షణం లోపల చాలామంది పిల్లలు కూడా ఒక సంశయం కలిగింది.
At this point of time, many of the boys and girls have developed a kind of doubt.
వీరందరికీ ఇటువంటి అనుభవాలు లభించిన కారణం ఏమిటి? నాకెందుకు ఇది కాకూడదు?
The question that has arisen is, why only these people are bestowed upon such very divine experiences? Why not me?
నిజంగా చెప్తే ఈ ఆత్మాన భవము మన అధికారమే.
To tell you the truth, It is our birthright to experience our true divinity.
ఈ డివినిటీ తప్ప వేరే ఏది మనం అనుభవించినా అవన్నీ వ్యర్థమే.
Without attaining divinity, we may attain anything, all that is a complete waste.
కానీ ఈ దివ్యత్వాన్ని మనం అనుభవించాలనుకుంటే దానికి తగినట్టు శ్రద్ధను కూడా మనము పెంచుకోవాలి.
If you want to attain divinity, you should have to develop sincerity of purpose in life, Shraddha.
శ్రద్ధావాన్ లభతే సర్వం.
One who has this sincerity of purpose will attain everything.
ఒక సమయం లోపల ఒక భక్తుడు శ్రీ రామకృష్ణ పరమహంస దగ్గర చేరి, మీరు తల్లిని ఈ విధంగా చూస్తున్నారు, పాటలాడుతున్నారు, అనుభవిస్తున్నారు, నాకు కూడా అది కావాలని అడిగాడు.
One day, a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna approached him and prayed to him, in the same way as you are able to see mother, talk to her, I also want to have that kind of experience.
తప్పకుండా అవుతుంది.
Ramakrishna replied, surely you will have that experience.
రా, నేను చూపిస్తాను తల్లి ఎక్కడున్నదో.
I will show you where the mother is.
ఈ భగవంతుడు అనుభవం ఏమిటనేది నేను నీకు అందిస్తాను.
I will bestow upon you the experience of Godhood.
అక్కడ ఆ మఠం లోపల కొంచెం దూరంలో ఒక బావి ఉండేది.
Nearby that place where Ramakrishna resided, there was a well.
ఆ వెల దగ్గర ఇతన్ని తీసుకుపోయి, లొంగి చూడు, భగవంతుడు ఈ వెల్ లోపలే ఉన్నాడని చెప్పాడు.
Ramakrishna took him to that well and told that devotee, you look down into the well, God is there in the
అప్పుడప్పుడు
well.
ఆయన ఇటువంటి చాలా చేసేవాడు, ఎవరికి అర్థమే కాదు.
Ramakrishna many times did things which people around could not understand.
ఈ మానవుడు చూడాలని లొంగినప్పుడు రామకృష్ణ ఒక వెనక కొట్టి ఆ వెల్లో తాన్ని పడేశాడు.
And when that devotee with great eagerness looked into the well, Ramakrishna pushed him into the well.
పడిపోయిన తర్వాత ఇక్కడ భగవంతుడు లేడు, యమరాజుడు తప్పకున్నాడని అనుభవించాడు.
The devotee who fell down into the well, what he experienced was not God, but the god of death, Yamadeva.
అక్కడి నుంచి నన్ను కాపాడండి, నన్ను బయటికి తీసుకురండి అనేసి అరుపులే అరుపులు.
He started crying out, please take me out of this well.
అప్పుడు రామకృష్ణ చెప్పాడు,
Then Ramakrishna told him,
ఏ విధంగా నువ్వు ఈ బావిలో ఉండే నీరు నుంచి బయటపడాలని వేడుస్తున్నావో, జీవితం కోసం ప్రార్థిస్తున్నావో, ఆ శ్రద్ధతోనే ఈ భవసాగర్ నుంచి బయటపడాలని నువ్వు భగవంతుడిని ప్రార్థిస్తే, భగవంతుడు ఒక్కడే కావాలని నువ్వు అడిగితే తప్పకుండా భగవద్ దర్శనము జరుగుతుంది.
Ramakrishna told him, in the same way as you are now pining and aspiring to get out of the well, with the same intensity of feeling, you pray for God and God alone, you will get God.
ప్రాణం కన్నా భగవంతుడే నాకు కావాలనేటువంటి ఒక శ్రద్ధ మనం పెంచినప్పుడే ఆ భగవత్ అనుభవము మనకు లభిస్తుంది.
Only when you develop an intensity of aspiration and yearning for God, wherein you feel God is more than your own life, God is more dear to you than your own life, that is when you will get God.
ఎప్పుడు కూడా నేను చెప్తూనే ఉన్నాను, ఒక పాత్రం లోపల నీరు ఉంటే గాలి ఉండడానికి వీలు లేదు.
All the time I have been telling you, if a vessel is filled with water, there is no way any air can be there inside.
వాటర్ దానిలో వేసినప్పుడు ఎయిర్ బయటికి పోతుంది కానీ అక్కడ ఉండదు.
When you put water into the vessel, air inside the vessel will go out, it cannot stay there.
ఆ విధముగానే ఐ అనేటువంటిది నేను అనేటువంటి ఈ దేహభావం ఉండిన వరకు దైవభావం ఉండడానికి వీలు లేదు.
Similarly, as long as we have the feeling of I, of separateness, there is no way you will enjoy and experience divine consciousness.
ఎక్కడ ఐ ఉంటున్నదో అక్కడ సాయి ఉండడు, ఎక్కడ సాయి ఉంటుంటాడో అక్కడ ఐ ఉండదు.
Where there is I, there is no Sai. Where there is Sai, there cannot be any I.
ఈ విధముగా నేను నాది అనేటువంటి ఒక సంకీర్ణమైన తుచ్చమైన ఈ యొక్క దేహ భావాన్ని త్యజించినప్పుడే దైవ భావాన్ని మనము పొందగలుగుతాం. ఈ విధముగా
When we give up the narrow-minded and mean feeling of I and mine, we can attain the divine consciousness.
ఈ ప్రపంచమందు ఎన్నో విధమైన ఒక ఆకర్షణములు చేరి ఉన్నాయి.
In this world, there are many attractions.
అర్థార్థి, జిజ్ఞాసు, జ్ఞాని అనేటువంటి 4 విధమైన భక్తులు కూడా భగవంతుడి దగ్గర వాళ్ళ ఇచ్ఛాపూర్తి నిమిత్తమై వస్తుంటారు.
4 kinds of devotees approach God in order to fulfill their own aspirations or desires.
అర్థి అనగా ఏదో ఒక బాధల వల్ల భగవంతుడి సమాధానం కోసము వస్తుంటారు.
The first category of arthas, they come in order to get relief from God, some kind of suffering.
అర్థార్థులు ఏదో ఒక భౌతిక సుఖ సంపదలు పొందే నిమిత్తమై భగవంతుడిని ప్రార్థిస్తుంటారు.
Arthatis pray to God in order to attain more wealth and more pleasures and more comforts and luxury.
జిజ్ఞాసు బ్రహ్మ జగన్మిథ్య అనేటువంటి సత్యాన్ని తెలుసుకునే నిమిత్తమై ఈ భగవద్ దర్శనముకు వస్తుంటారు.
A spiritual aspirant approaches God with the prayer. He wants to know that this world is an illusion and God is the eternal truth.
కానీ జ్ఞాని భగవంతుడి కోసమే పూజిస్తున్నాడు కానీ వేరేది కాదు.
But a jnani, a true man or woman of wisdom, worships God only for the sake of God, not for getting anything
అక్కడ
else.
ఇచ్చుకోవడము పుచ్చుకోవడం అనేటిదే లేదు.
There is nothing like giving and taking in that
పూర్ణమదం
relationship.
పూర్ణమిదం పూర్ణాత్ పూర్ణముదచ్యతే.
That is complete, this is complete, and this complete thing emerges from the complete perfect
పూర్ణస్య
thing.
పూర్ణమాదాయ పూర్ణమేవ విశిష్యతే.
Even when this complete manifestation of the universe comes out of the complete God, what remains is also complete.
ఆ భక్తుడి ప్రేమ పూర్ణమైనది. దాంట్లో ఇచ్చుకోవటము పుచ్చుకోవటము వేయడము తీయడం అనేటువంటిది లేదు.
The love of a jnani for God is complete and perfect. There is no business of giving and taking.
అన్ని భగవంతుడు ఒక ఇచ్చ ప్రకారమే జరుగుతున్నది. ఆయనకి తెలియనిది ఏమీ లేదు అనేటువంటి నమ్మకం పెంచిన వల్ల వాళ్ళకు అడగడము ఇచ్చుకోవటము లాగడము తీసుకోవటం అనేటువంటిది ఈ భావమే ఉండదు.
A jnani or a man of wisdom realizes that everything that happens in the world happens according to the will of God. Therefore, I need not have to ask for anything.
అడగకవేవో మనస.
Oh mind, don't ask.
అడిగినవన్నీ కూడా భగవంతుడు మీరు అడిగినట్టే ఇస్తాడు కానీ ఆయన ఇవ్వాలని ఇవ్వడు.
And whatever he gives you, it will be in response to your prayer for something. He will not give you something which you don't ask for.
కానీ అడగకుండా ఉంటే మీకు ఏది కావాలో ఎంత కావాలో ఎప్పుడు కావాలో ఎక్కడ కావాలో ఎలా కావాలో అవన్నీ కూడా ఆయనే స్వతహాగా అందిస్తాడు.
If you don't ask God for things that you think you need, He himself will give you those things which you need at any particular point of time, in a particular place, under a particular situation.
అంత ఒక నమ్మకం ఉండినప్పుడు ఈ విధంగా ఇచ్చుకోవడం పుచ్చుకోవడం జరగదు.
When you have that kind of faith, this question of asking and getting, receiving, giving will not be there.
అంత ఒక భగవంతుడిని మనం భగవంతుడు ఒక ప్రేమ కోసమే ప్రేమిస్తున్నాము కానీ వేరేది ఏమి మనకు అవసరమా ఉండదు.
Such a person, a jnani, loves God only for the sake of God, for the sake of love of God, and not for getting anything else in return.
పునః రామకృష్ణ ఒక జీవిత చరిత్ర నుంచి ఇంకో ఘటన నేను మీకు తెలుపుతున్నాను.
I want to tell you an incident from the life of Sri Ramakrishna.
కట్టకడపటికి ఈ జగత్తు ఒక పాప సంహారం నిమిత్తమై నివారణ నిమిత్తమై తన ఒక దేహంలో తను చాలా ఒక వరకు క్యాన్సర్ తీసుకొని బాధపడుతూ వచ్చాడు.
Sri Ramakrishna, toward the end of his physical sojourn, he took upon himself the many sins of the world, and therefore he started suffering from cancer.
గొంతులో ఉండే ఈ క్యాన్సర్ వల్ల ఏది తినడం కూడా సాధ్యం కాలేదు.
Because of the throat cancer, he could not eat anything.
ఆ సమయంలో ఆ దేహం అంతా కూడా కరిగి ఒక అస్థిమ పంజరం అయిపోయింది కానీ దానిలో ఏ విధమైన ఒక ప్రాణమే కనపడటం లేదు.
The body became a skeleton because he could not eat anything and there was no sign of life.
ఆ సమయంలో భక్తులందరూ అనుయాయులందరూ పోయి స్వామి మీకు తల్లి ఒక అనుగ్రహం ఇంత దండిగా ఉంటున్నది, ఆ తల్లిని ప్రార్థించి మీ బాధలు కొంచెం తగ్గించాలని మీరు చెప్పండి.
The devotees and followers and disciples of Ramakrishna approached him and prayed to him, you enjoy mother's grace in abundance, you pray to mother.
మదర్కి తెలియనట్టుది ఏమిటి ఉన్నది, నేను ఏమి చెప్పాలా తనకు అని రామకృష్ణ తిరిగి వాళ్ళకు జవాబు చెప్పాడు.
Ramakrishna asked a counter question, is there anything that mother does not know? What is that I have to ask her?
అది సరే స్వామి, కానీ మన ఒక సంతోషం మన ఒక తృప్తి కోసమైనా కనీసం మీరు ప్రార్థించండి అని అడిగారు.
The devotees prayed to him, that may be right, but at least for satisfaction of our desire, you please pray to mother.
మీ బాధను మీరు తట్టుకోగలుగుతున్నారు, కానీ మీ యొక్క ఈ పరిస్థితి చూసి మనం బాధపడుతున్నాను, మన బాధ పరిహారం కోసమైనా కనీసం మీరు ప్రార్థించండి.
You are able to bear all suffering happily, but we are not able to see you suffering like this. In order to remove our suffering, you please pray to mother.
ఈ విధంగా భక్తులందరూ ప్రార్థించడం వల్ల వారి నిమిత్తమై అమ్మని ప్రార్థించాడు.
In response to their prayers, Ramakrishna prayed to the mother.
అమ్మా,
Mother,
ఈ విధంగా నా భక్తులందరూ కూడా, నీ పిల్లలందరూ కూడా నా ఒక ఆరోగ్యము కాపాడాలని మిమ్మల్ని ప్రార్థిస్తున్నారు, నేను ఏమి తినలేకపోతున్నానని బాధపడుతున్నారు.
all the devotees, my children, are praying to me. They are feeling very bad and suffering that I am not able to eat anything.
వాళ్ళు చెప్పిన వల్ల నేను నిన్ను ప్రార్థిస్తున్నాను, నువ్వు ఏదో ఒక సమాధానం చెబితే వాళ్ళు పోయి నేను చెప్తాను.
Because they put pressure on me to pray for this, I am praying to you. If you tell me whatever they reply, I will communicate to them.
అప్పుడు తను చెప్పింది,
She said,
నేను ఎన్నో గొంతులతో, ఎన్నో కంఠములతో, ఎన్నో నోటుతో తింటున్నాను, ఒక నోటు ద్వారా తినకపోతే ఏం పోయేది?
I have been eating through so many mouths and so many throats. If I don't eat through one throat, what is that I am going to lose?
ఆ విధంగా చెప్పినప్పుడు ఆ జవాబు తన భక్తులందరూ చెప్పారు.
This reply of the mother, he communicated to the devotees.
తన బాధలు కూడా తన బాధలుగా అనుకోలేదు.
He never ever thought he was suffering.
తనకు కావాల్సింది ఒక తల్లి ప్రేమయే కానీ వేరేది కాదు.
He aspired only for mother's love and not anything else.
ఆ లవ్ నాకు ఉంటే చాలు, మిగతావి నాకు అనవసరము.
He said, I want only mother's love and nothing else.
ఈ జ్ఞానము, ఈ ముక్తి, ఈ ఒక వేరే వేరే విధంగా ఆధ్యాత్మిక సాధనలు జరిగేవి, శక్తులు, సిద్ధిలు, అవన్నీ మనకు అనవసరము.
I don't want any siddhis or attainments or any sadhana also. I don't need it.
నాకు ఒక భగవద్ ప్రేమ ఉంటే అదే చాలు.
If I can experience divine love, that is good enough for
ఈ
me.
డివైన్ లవ్ అనేటువంటిది అన్నిటికన్నా మహత్మైనది, ఉన్నతమైనది, పవిత్రమైనది.
Divine love is the highest and the purest form of love.
ఏదో ఎవరు కూడా స్వీట్ తినలేని వాడు స్వీట్ ఒక అంతరార్థము తింటే ఒక తత్వాన్ని గుర్తించగలుగుతాడా?
A person who cannot eat a sweet, is it possible for him to recognize the taste of sweetness?
ఇంతో అంతో నోరులో పెట్టినప్పుడే స్వీట్నెస్ ఏమిటనేది తనకు తెలుస్తుంది.
Only when you put a little of the sweet into your mouth, only then you know what is sweetness.
కానీ స్వీట్ని బహిరంగంగా చూస్తే మాత్రము తన అనుభవం దానికి కలగదు.
Even if you see the sweet outside yourself, you will not get the experience of sweetness.
ఎన్ని మందిరానికి పోయినా, ఎన్ని గిరిజా గారు పోయి మనం ప్రార్థించినా, ఎన్ని బౌద్ధ స్తూపాలు మనము నిరీక్షించినా, కట్టకట్టబడికి మన లోపల మనం ఆ దివ్య ప్రేమని అనుభవించకపోతే చేసినవన్నీ కూడా వ్యర్థమే.
You may visit many temples or masjids or churches or gurudwaras, but if you don't experience divine love in your heart, all your pilgrimages are a waste.
ఈ ప్రేమ యందు ఇచ్చుకోవడం పుచ్చుకోవడం అనేటువంటి నిస్వార్థంగా నిశ్చలమైన పవిత్రమైన ఈ దివ్య ప్రేమ.
This divine love is absolutely selfless. There is no question of giving and taking, and it is absolutely pure.
అందుకే ఏదైనా మనం భగవంతుడి దగ్గర అడగాలనుకుంటే ఈ భగవంతుడిని ప్రేమ గురించి మీరు అడగండి.
Suppose you want to ask something from God, ask for the divine love.
ఆ డివైన్లో ఒక్కసారి మనం అనిపిస్తే వేరేదన్నీ కూడా చేదుగానే అనిపిస్తుంది, కానీ రుచియే ఉండదు.
Once you experience divine love, everything else will taste bitter for you. You can't really relish it.
ఆ విధంగానే ప్రపంచము, సంసారము, లోకమంతా కూడా అరుచికరమైనవి.
And all the life in the world, samsara, is tasteless.
ఆ భగవత్ ప్రేమ అంత ఒక ఆనందకరమైనది.
Divine love is so much full of bliss.
ఈ ప్రేమ పుచ్చుకోండి, ఈ ప్రేమని మీరు పెంచుకోండి, ఈ ప్రేమని మీరు పంచుకోండి.
You have to develop this love and share this love with others.
ఈ యొక్క యూత్ మీట్ లోపల మీరు వేరేది ఏమి నేర్చుకోకపోయినా ఈ దివ్య ప్రేమను మీరు పెంచుకోవాలా, అది మాత్రం నేర్చుకుంటే చాలు.
In this youth meet, you might not learn anything. If you just learn this divine love, that is enough.
అందరి కూడా మనవాళ్ళే,
All belong to us.
అందరిలో ఆ భగవత్ తత్వమే, ఆ దివ్య తత్వమే, ఆత్మతత్వమే చేరి ఉంటున్నది.
In everyone, the same divine principle pervades.
ఈ భగవత్ ప్రేమని మనము సాధించితే మిగతావన్నీ కూడా మనకు తనకు తానే లభిస్తాయి.
If you can attain divine love, all other things you will get spontaneously.
ఏ విధంగా ఒక అయస్కాంతమైన శక్తి వల్ల అన్ని విధమైన ఒక ఇనుపు ముక్కలు కూడా తన దగ్గర చేరుతాయో, ఆ విధంగా దివ్య ప్రేమతో ఉండే మనుషుల దగ్గర అన్ని సుఖ సంపదలు, భౌతికమైన ఆధ్యాత్మికమైనవి అన్నీ కూడా తనకు తానే చేరుతాయి.
When there is a magnet, all iron filings are attracted to it. In the presence of people who have divine love in their hearts, all things required, all men required will come to them.
అందరు అడుగుతుంటారు, స్వామి నేను ఏ విధమైన సేవ చేయాలా, ఎటువంటి మనం సేవల్లో పాల్గొనాలా అని పిల్లలు ప్రశ్నలని రాస్తూ ఉంటారు.
Many times students keep writing questions to me, Swami, what kind of service I can do, what kind of service activities I can take up.
అన్నిటికన్నా ఉన్నతమైన సేవ ఏమిటంటే నీ దివ్యత్వాన్ని నువ్వు తెలుసుకో.
But the highest form of service you can do is to know your divine divinity.
నువ్వు ఒక డివినిటీని అనుభవించినప్పుడు అందరినీ కూడా డివినిటీని నువ్వు తెలుపగలుగుతావు.
When you enjoy and experience divinity within yourself, you can lead others also to divinity.
అది సెల్ఫ్ రియలైజేషన్ అనేది ఒకటి మనం పుచ్చుకుంటే మిగతావన్నీ కూడా దాంట్లోనే చేరి ఉన్నాయి.
If you can attain self-realization, all other things are there with it.
వీళ్ళందరూ కూడా చెప్తున్నారు, ఈ రియలైజేషన్ అనేది ఎక్కడి నుంచో రావటం లేదు, మన ఎంత చేరి ఉన్నది.
This realization does not come from anywhere else. It is there within us.
ఒక శిల్పి కూడా పాషాణం నుంచి ఒక ప్రతిమని చేయాలనుకుంటే ఏమి చేస్తుంటాడు?
When a sculptor wants to make a statue out of a stone, what does he do?
ఆ స్టాచ్యూ ఎక్కడి నుంచో వచ్చి ఆ స్టోన్లో చేరటం లేదు.
That statue is not coming from outside and getting into the stone.
ఆ స్టోన్ లోపలే ఉంటున్నది.
It is there inside the stone.
కానీ ఏది ఆ స్టాచ్యూ కాదో అది తీసి పడేసినప్పుడు ఉండేది స్టాచ్యూ బయటకు వస్తుంది.
But when you remove what is not the statue in the stone, then the statue will emerge.
ఆ విధంగానే మనందు దివ్యత్వము అప్పుడే చేరి ఉన్నది.
Already divinity is there within us.
కానీ ఎందుకు మనం అనుభవించలేకపోతాం అనగా, మనలో ఏది దివ్యమైనది కాదో అది తీసి పడేసినప్పుడే ఈ ఉండే దివ్యత్వము బయటపడుతుంది.
Why are we not able to experience the divinity which is there within? Because we have to remove what is not divine in us so that we can experience the divine.
ఈ చిన్నతనము, ఈ స్వార్థము, ఈ స్వప్రయోజనం అనేటివి మనం తీసి పడేసినప్పుడు లోపల ఉండే దివ్యత్వము బయట మనకు కనపడుతుంది.
When we remove our narrow-mindedness, selfishness and self-interest, the inner divinity will manifest within us.
అదే ఎడ్యుకేర్.
That is what is
ఏది
educare.
ఉంటున్నదో దాన్నే బహిరంగంగా మనము బయట తీసుకురావడమే ఎడ్యుకేర్.
Educare is manifesting what is already there within.
ఈ దివ్యత్వం అనేటువంటిది మనకు బయటపడాలా, అందరు కూడా ఈ దివ్యత్వం వల్ల సేవలు చేయాలా అనేది ఒక గమ్యమే ఈ విద్య ఒక గమ్యం.
The true goal of education is the divinity which is within should manifest and serve this society.
ఈ విధంగా మనలో ఉండే ఈ స్వార్థత్వాన్ని మనము త్యజించినప్పుడు నిస్వార్థమైన ఆ దివ్యత్వము, ఆ దివ్య ప్రేమ బయటపడుతుంది.
When we give up our selfishness, divinity, which is nothing but selfless love, it manifests itself.
తామసికంబు వీడుక తత్వంబు కనరాదు.
Without giving up the Thomasic quality, you can't recognize the truth.
రాజసికంబు వీడక రాదు భక్తి.
Without giving up Rajasic quality, you will not get devotion to God.
సాత్వికంబే భక్తి సాధనం బగునయా.
It is the Sattvic quality which will help you to develop devotion to God.
సత్యమైన బాట సాయి మాట.
The word of Sai is the path of truth.
ఈ తమస్ రజస్ అనేటటువంటిది నేను నాది చిన్నదనం పోగొట్టుకున్నప్పుడే సత్వమైన ప్రేమ బయటకు వస్తుంది.
Only when we give up the mean-minded qualities of tamas and rajas, there emerges the pure sattvic quality.
భూమి లోపలే నీరు ఉంటున్నది,
Water is there in the earth.
కానీ నీరు త్రాగి మన దాహం తీర్చుకోవాలనుకుంటే మొదటి మనము ఆ బోర్వెల్ వేసి తవ్వినప్పుడే లోపల ఉండే నీరు బయటకు వస్తుంది.
If you want to quench your thirst, you have to sink a bore well, then the water which is inside will come out.
ఈ రాళ్ళు, ఇసుక, మన్ను అనేటువంటిది రాజసికమైనవి, తామసికమైనవి మనము తీసి పడేసినప్పుడే మన లోపల ఉండే ఆ ప్రేమ అనేటువంటి సాత్వికమైన భావము బయటకు వస్తాయి.
Similarly, when you remove the stone and the earth or soil of tamasic qualities and rajasic qualities, then the water of divinity within will emerge.
ఈ విధంగా చూసినప్పుడు అంతా కూడా మన లోపలే చేరి ఉన్నది, కానీ మనకు అందటం లేదు.
Thus, if you analyze properly, you know that everything is within us, but we are not able to experience it.
ఈ యొక్క బోర్వెల్ పంప్ వేసినప్పుడు లోపల ఉండే నీరు బయటకు వస్తున్నది.
But when you drill a bore well, the water inside will come out.
ఇదే సాధన.
This is what is spiritual
మన ఉండే
effort.
తామసిక గుణములు, సాత్విక గుణములు మనము త్యజించి సాత్వికమైన గుణములు పెంచినప్పుడే అదే మన ఒక సాధన.
We have to give up our tamasic and rajasic qualities and attain sattvic quality. That is real spiritual effort.
అందుకనే మీరు ఏది చేయాలంటే ఇక్కడి నుంచి పోయిన తర్వాత మీ అందుండే స్వార్థ సప్రయోజనాన్ని మీరు త్యజించి వేయండి.
Therefore, when you leave this place and go to your places, first thing you have to do is to give up selfishness and
ఈ
self-interest.
సెల్ఫిష్నెస్ ఎందుకు వస్తుందంటే భయం వల్ల వస్తున్నది.
Why do we get selfishness? Because of fear.
నా దగ్గర ఉండేది నేను వేరే వాళ్ళతో పంచుకుంటే నా గతి ఏమిటి?
If I share what I have with me, what will happen to me tomorrow?
నాకు కావాల్సినవన్నీ కూడా వేరే వాళ్ళకి నేను ఇచ్చి పడేస్తే రేపటి దినం నేను ఎలా బ్రతుకుతాను?
What I need, if I give them away to others, who will give me what I need?
ఈ విధంగా మనము రేపటి గురించి యోచించిన వల్ల మనకు భయం కలుగుతున్నది.
Because all the time we are worried about tomorrow, you have this fear.
ఈ ఫియర్ వల్లనే మనము సేవలు నిస్వార్థంగా చేయలేకపోతున్నాము.
Because of fear, we are not able to render selfless service coming out of selfishness.
ఈ భయం ఎక్కడి నుంచి వస్తున్నదని మనం విచారించితే,
If you ask the question where this fear is coming
ఈ
from,
ఫెయిత్ లేని వల్లనే ఫియర్ వస్తున్నది.
because you don't have faith, you are getting fear.
ఈ భగవంతుడు నాది అంత చూసుకుంటున్నాడు, ఆయన నన్ను రక్షిస్తున్నాడు, కాపాడుతున్నాడు, కావాల్సిన అన్ని కూడా అందిస్తున్నాడు అనే నమ్మకం పెంచుకున్నప్పుడు ఏ మాత్రం భయం ఉండదు.
When you develop faith that God is there always with me and He will grant me and give me what I need at some point of time, then you will not have any fear.
రేపటి గురించి విచారించి ఈనాటి దినం చేసింది మనం చేయలేకపోతున్నాము.
All the time worrying about future, we are not able to do what we have to do in the present.
ఒక మనిషి ధర్మరాజు దగ్గర వచ్చి న్యాయం గురించి యాచించినప్పుడు ధర్మరాజుడు చెప్పాడు.
One man came to Dharmaraja and requested him for justice. He said,
ధర్మరాజు ఇప్పుడు ఈనాటి దినం టైం అయిపోయింది, రేపు పొద్దున రండి.
Dharmaraja told that man, today it's already time, you come tomorrow.
చెప్పినప్పటికీ భీముడు ఇది విని అక్కడ ఉండే గంటని కొట్టుతున్నాడు.
And Bhima, who heard this, went on ringing a bell which was there.
ఎందుకు ఇలా ప్రవర్తిస్తున్నావు అడిగినప్పుడు,
When Bhima was asked, why are you ringing the bell?
ఈనాడు గొప్పది ఒక జరిగింది.
Something amazing has happened today.
ధర్మరాజుడు కాలాన్ని జయించాడు.
Dharmaraja has conquered time.
మృత్యుని జయించాడు.
He has conquered death.
ఎందుకు ఇలా చెప్తున్నావు అడిగినప్పుడు,
when you asked, why are you saying this?
ఈనాటి దినం జరిగే పని మీరు ఆపేసి రేపటి దినం రమ్మన్నారు అంటే రేపటి దినం మీరు బ్రతుకుంటారని మీకు నమ్మకం ఉన్నది, కాబట్టి మీరు కాలాన్ని జయించారని నేను నిర్ధారించాను.
I decided that you have conquered time and death because you are sure that you are going to be alive tomorrow morning, and then you are calling this man to come tomorrow.
ఈనాటి జరిగిన వదిలేసి రేపటి గురించి ఆలోచించడము ఈ విధంగా చూపించే ఒక అజ్ఞానమే.
Giving up what you can do today, thinking of tomorrow, is a kind of ignorance.
రేపటి వచ్చినప్పుడు భగవంతుడు రేపటి కూడా మిమ్మల్ని చూసుకుంటాడు.
And when tomorrow comes, definitely God will take care of you tomorrow also.
అందుకే దైవ భక్తి అనగా దైవంలో అనన్యమైన ఒక ప్రేమ విశ్వాసం మనం పెంచుకున్నప్పుడే నిర్భయంగా మనం జీవితం అంతా బతకవచ్చు.
Therefore, if you can develop that kind of steady faith and devotion to God, you can lead a fearless life.
ఫెయిత్ ఉండినప్పుడు లవ్ ఉంటుంది.
Where there is faith, there is love.
లవ్ ఉండినప్పుడే అక్కడ ట్రూత్ ఉంటుంది.
Where there is love, there is truth.
ట్రూత్ ఉంటుంది, పీస్ కూడా ఉంటుంది.
Where there is truth, there is peace.
పీస్ ఎక్కడ ఉంటుందో అక్కడే భగవంతుడు ఉంటాడు.
Where there is peace, there is God.
భగవంతుడు ఉండే చోట్లోనే ఆనందం ఉంటుంది.
Where there is God, there is bliss.
కాబట్టి ఫెయిత్ మీరు పెంచుకున్నప్పుడే బ్లిస్ వరకు మీరు అనుభవించవచ్చు.
First and foremost, you have to develop faith, and ultimately you can attain bliss.
ఈ విధంగా భయపడుతుంటున్నప్పుడు భగవంతుడు ఒక శక్తిని, భగవంతుడు ఒక ప్రేమని, భగవంతుడు ఒక కాపాడిన ఒక ప్రేమని మీరు సంశయిస్తున్నారని మీరు భావించాలి.
When you are full of fear, you should know that you are doubting the grace and love of God.
గాడ్ని మనం డౌట్ చేయకూడదు.
You should never doubt God.
గాడ్ అందరిని కూడా సమానంగా ప్రేమిస్తున్నాడు, అందరినీ రక్షిస్తాడు, కాపాడుతాడు అనే నమ్మకం మనం పెంచుకోవాలి.
You have to develop faith that God loves everyone and protect everyone and give whatever is required.
దైవ భక్తిని మనం పెంచుకున్నప్పుడే స్వార్థత్వాన్ని మనం త్యజించి నిర్భయంగా అందరినీ సేవిస్తాము.
Only when you develop such faith and devotion, you will give up selfishness and serve everybody selflessly.
అందరూ కూడా సెల్ఫ్లెస్ అయిపోవాలా. అదే విద్య ఒక అందించిన మన నిజమైన జ్ఞానము.
All of us should become selfless. That is true wisdom.
నేను నాది సీమితమైన బుద్ధిని మనం త్యజించి మనము మనది విశాలత్వాన్ని పొందాలా.
We have to give up the narrow-minded feeling of I and mine and attain broad-minded feeling of we and ours.
నీ చేతి వల్ల నీ కంటికి ఏమైనా ప్రమాదం జరిగితే నువ్వు చేతిని కోసి పడేవు కదా.
If your hand sometimes accidentally hurts your eye, will you chop off the hand?
నీ పళ్ళు ద్వారా నీ జిహ్వకు ఏమైనా ప్రమాదం జరిగితే పళ్ళును విరగ్గొట్టి పడేసావు.
If your teeth hurt your tongue sometimes accidentally, are you going to break your
ఈ
teeth?
చేతి కూడా నాదే, కన్ను కూడా నాదే.
Hand is mine, eye is also mine.
ఈ పళ్ళు కూడా నావే, ఈ జిహ్వ కూడా నాదే.
Teeth are mine, this tongue is also mine.
ఇవన్నీ కూడా నావే అనుకున్నప్పుడు ఒకరిని శిక్షించడము, ఇంకొకరిని రక్షించడం అనేది జరగదు.
When you have the feeling that everybody belongs to me, you are not going to love somebody and hate somebody else.
ఒకవేళ పొరపాటు వల్ల ఏదైనా జరిగినా కూడా అందరిని క్షమించగలుగుతావు.
Even if somebody hurts you, you will be able to forgive him.
వాళ్ళు కూడా నా వాళ్ళే కాబట్టి నాకన్నా వేరే కాదు.
They also belong to me, they are not different from me.
ఉదార చరితానామిత వసుదైవ కుటుంబకం.
For broad-minded people, the whole world is one
అందరి
family.
మనవాళ్ళు ప్రేమతత్వాన్ని మీరు పెంచుకున్నప్పుడే ఈ నేషనల్ యూత్ మీట్ నిజంగా సార్థకమైందని నేను అనుకుంటాను.
This national meet will find fulfillment when you develop the feeling that everybody belongs to you.
పారస్మణి దగ్గర ఏ ఒక ఇనుప ముక్క వచ్చినా అది బంగారంగా మారిపోతుంది.
And even a piece of iron, when it touches the philosopher's stone, it will get transformed into gold.
మీరందరూ కూడా ఈ యావత్ రాష్ట్రం నుంచి ఎక్కడెక్కడి నుంచి ఇక్కడికి చేరారు, భగవద్ సన్నిధిలో ఉన్నారు, ఎన్నో మంచి మాటలు నేర్చుకున్నారు. ఇక్కడి నుంచి పోయిన తర్వాత మీలో జరిగిన మార్పుల ద్వారానే ఈ యొక్క స్వామి ఉన్నారు, స్వామి చేస్తున్నాడు అనేది జనములు తెలుస్తుంది.
All of you have come from different places and you are enjoying the divine presence. When you go back, if there is a transformation in you, you will be able to propagate the fact that there is divine presence here.
మంచి పిల్లవాడు చూస్తే మంచి పిల్లాడిని ఎవరు కూడా మెచ్చుకోరు, కానీ వాళ్ళ టీచర్ ఎవరు, తల్లిదండ్రులు ఎవరు అని అందరూ అడుగుతారు.
When somebody encounters a very good boy, people will ask the question, who are his parents, who are his teachers?
ఆ విధంగా చెడ్డ పిల్లవాడు చూసినప్పుడు టీచర్ కూడా చెడ్డవాడే, తల్లిదండ్రులు కూడా చెడ్డవాళ్ళని మనకు అభిప్రాయం జరుగుతుంది.
Therefore, when people look at a bad boy, they think parents are bad and teachers are also bad.
ఆ విధంగానే మీరు ఇప్పుడు పోయిన తర్వాత ఏ విధంగా ప్రవర్తిస్తారో అదే నాకు ఒక సర్టిఫికేట్.
And when you go back, the way you conduct yourself, that is the kind of certificate you have to give to me.
స్వామి దగ్గర నుంచి వచ్చారు కాబట్టి ఇంత ప్రేమతో, ఇంత దివ్యంగా, ఇంత మధురంగా పిల్లలు ప్రవర్తిస్తున్నారని జనములు అనుకోవాలా.
And the people around you, when you go back, should think and feel that he has come back from divinity. That's why he is behaving in such a loving and humble way.
ఏదో ఈ 3 రోజుల్లో చాలా జరిగినాయి, ఆ సత్యసాయి గ్రామం పోయిన తర్వాత వాళ్ళ లోపల చాలా ఒక మంచి మార్పులు కలిగినాయి అనేటువంటి జనులకు అభిప్రాయం కావాలా.
The people should develop a feeling that after you are coming here and staying here for 3 days, there are some good changes and transformations in you.
మీలో జరిగిన మార్పులే స్వామి ఉండాలని ప్రమాణము.
The kind of transformation people see in you when you go back, that will be the testimony that Swami is here.
నిన్నటి వరకు నా వల్ల ప్రపంచం మిమ్మల్ని తెలుసుకున్నది.
Till yesterday, the world knew you because of me.
ఎవరితడంటే ఓ సాయిబాబా స్టూడెంటు, సాయిబాబా యూత్, సాయిబాబా భక్తులు అని ప్రపంచమంతా సాయిబాబా ద్వారా మిమ్మల్ని గుర్తించండి.
Because you are a Sai student or a Sai youth or a Sai devotee, the world recognize you because of Sai Baba.
కానీ ఈ రోజు స్వామి కనపడటం లేదు. ఈ సమయంలో మీరు ఏది చేస్తున్నారు, మీ ద్వారా మీ యొక్క సాయిని ప్రపంచం గుర్తిస్తుంది.
But today Sai Baba is not seen, but when people see you doing good things, then they will recognize Sai Baba is still there.
ఈ పిల్లవాడు ఇంత మంచిగా ఉంటున్నప్పుడు వాళ్ళ బాబా ఎట్లాంటి వాడు ఉంటాడో అని వాళ్ళు అనుకోవాలా.
Looking at the boy doing very good things, people will think, if this boy is so good, how good is Sai Baba?
ఈ భక్తులు ఇట్లా మధురంగా దివ్యంగా ప్రేమగా ప్రవర్తిస్తుంటే వాళ్ళ బాబా ఎంత గొప్పవాడో అని వాళ్ళకు అనిపించాలి.
When devotees conduct themselves with great love and great humility, people will think how great is their God Sai Baba.
యూత్ వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా చేరి సేవలు చేస్తూ ప్రేమతో అందరూ పలుకరిస్తూ ఉండినప్పుడు వీరు ఎక్కడ ఇంత మాటలు నేర్చుకున్నారో ఆ బాబా ఎంత మహత్యమైన వాడు అని వాళ్ళకు అభిప్రాయం కలగాల.
When all the youth conduct themselves with great love and serve the society, people will realize how great is their God Sai Baba.
ఆ విధంగా ఫలముని చూసి చెట్టు ఎట్లాంటిది అని జనులు తెలుసుకుంటారు.
Looking at the fruit, people can recognize the tree.
ఈ విధంగా మీరు చేసిన ప్రవర్తన వల్లనే మీ బాబాకు మంచి పేరు, మంచి ప్రఖ్యాతి, మంచి ఒక శ్రద్ధ జనంలో కలుగుతుంది.
Because of your charitable, noble and helpful acts, the world will realize how great is their God Sai Baba.
Be good, do good, see good. This is the way to God.
Be good, see good, do good. That is the way to God.
GOD good లోపలే GOD God చేరి ఉంటున్నారు.
In the word GOD, good, there is God.
గుడే ధర్మము.
That good is dharma.
గుడే సత్యము.
Good is satya.
గుడే ప్రేమ.
Good is love.
గుడే అన్ని గుణములు.
Good is all good qualities.
అందుకనే పోయిన తర్వాత ఎప్పుడు కూడా గుడ్ కురు పుణ్య మహోరాత్రం.
When you go back, do meritorious charitable acts all the time.
త్యజ దుర్జన సంసర్గం.
Run away from bad company.
భజ సాధు సమాగమం.
Get into good company.
కురు పుణ్య మహోరాత్రం.
Do good acts all the time, day and night.
స్మర నిత్యం అనిత్యతాం.
All the time you discriminate between what is permanent and what is impermanent.
ఈ యొక్క మాటని మీరు పరిపూర్ణంగా పాలిస్తే ఏ కష్టము, ఏ నష్టము, ఏ దుఃఖము రాకుండా ఆనందమైన జీవితాన్ని మీరు గడపగలుగుతారు.
If you can practice this word perfectly, you will never face any difficulties and any problems in life.
మీ అందరూ కూడా మిమ్మల్కు, మీ యొక్క కుటుంబానికి, మీ యొక్క రాష్ట్రముకు, ఈ దేశముకు మంచి పేరు తెచ్చుకుంటారు. మంచి అందరి దగ్గర మంచి అభిప్రాయం పెంచుకుంటారు. అందరికీ ఒక ఆదర్శమైన పిల్లలుగా, యువతులుగా, భక్తులుగా నిరూపిస్తారు అనేది ఆశీర్వదిస్తూ ఈ కార్యక్రమం మనం ఇక్కడ ముగిస్తున్నాం.
Aspiring that you will conduct yourself as true Sai students, Sai youth and Sai devotees, I conclude my discourse. You will get good name for yourself, your parents, your family, your society and the nation.
ప్రేమముది.
प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम, राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम, राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम, राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम भवसमुद्र सुखद नाव एक राम नाम। भवसमुद्र सुखद नाव एक राम नाम। परम शांति सुख निधान दिव्य 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 राम नाम। निराधार को आधार एक 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 राम नाम। परम गोप्य परम दिव्य मंत्र 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 राम नाम। संत हृदय सदा वसत एक 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 राम नाम। मात पिता बंधु सखा सब ही 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 राम नाम। भक्त जनर जीवन धन एक 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 राम नाम। राम 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 श्री राम राम राम। राम 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 श्री राम राम राम। राम 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 श्री राम राम राम। राम 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 श्री राम राम राम। राम 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 श्री राम राम राम। राम 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 श्री राम राम राम। राम 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 श्री राम राम राम। राम 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 श्री राम राम राम। राम 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 श्री राम 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 श्री राम 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 श्री राम राम राम। ओम तत्सत् श्री नारायण तु पुरुषोत्तम गुरु तु सिद्धबुद्ध तु स्कंद विनायक सविता पावक तु सविता पावक तु ब्रह्ममस्तु यहुव शक्ति तु येषु पिता प्रभु तु रुद्र विष्णु तु राम कृष्ण तु रहीम तावो तु रहीम तावो तु वासुदेव गो विश्वरूप तु चिदानंद हरितु अद्वितीय तु अकाल निर्भय आत्मलिंग शिव तु साई आत्मलिंग शिव तु साई आत्मलिंग शिव तु। ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशिवरना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपदे स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपदे आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपदार्गवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे मात पिता गुरुदैवमु मरियन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मरियन्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नागेन्द्राशयना ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी ओ साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल आरती अंदुको मंगल आरती अंदुको नंदर गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम शांति 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 समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।